Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. And I'm going to be talking a little bit quieter. I'm actually really tired right now and it's like 3 a.m. and I should be sleeping, but I really need to do this voiceover because we are finally going to be working on the last page of this particular, I guess, like sketchbook. It's actually a notebook like I've mentioned in my previous videos, but because it's a blank notebook, I've been treating it like a sketchbook. And okay, I think I'm gonna talk about kind of my progress throughout this whole sketchbook because I've been going through kind of like ups and downs, and the reason why I'm kind of doing this voiceover kind of last minute is because I really wanted to push and finish this last page because I want to be done with the sketchbook finally and to kind of move on, have a new start again. So yeah, let's talk about what I'm doing here first. Usually for the inside cover or like the first page and the last page, I kind of like to have them match in a sense where I have a goodbye and a hello page. So for this notebook, I actually have a hello page with Masaki kind of like in a formal attire, and he's kind of like introducing you into the sketchbook. Or I have him facing the other way, but I wanted him to look like he's kind of like guiding you into the sketchbook. So for the last page, I kind of wanted him to be gesturing the other way and gesturing towards the goodbye, so showing that we're ending the sketchbook. There's a lot of gripes I have with this drawing in general, but I think it's kind of stemming from the fact that I wanted to finish this as fast as I could. And I think because I wanted to finish it as fast as I could, there is like a lot of mistakes and things that I missed from the initial sketch and the tight sketch, I guess. But I didn't really care too much. I just wanted to just paint, see where it kind of leads me. And if I like it, great. If I don't, then it's okay. It's literally the last page. So, yeah, I'm kind of following the same theme as the hello page where Masaki's in a similar attire. I did miss a few details like buttons on his what do you call that, like a vest or like waistcoat or something. And I think the color of his jacket and just his whole attire is a little bit darker compared to my very first version. And I think I just spent a lot more like love and time for my hello page compared to the goodbye page, and it kind of reflects like my mood in terms of how my sketchbook kind of went. So in the very beginning, I was very like gung-ho about using it. I was very excited because the paper was a little bit less precious, but it was still very smooth. It took graphite very well, and I went really like ham with doing a lot of graphite drawings right at the very beginning. And then as I moved along, I realized I started to spend a lot less time per spread or per doodling session, I guess, or like sketching session that I did in my sketchbook. Thus, I kind of like went fast. And usually when I go fast, I don't really like the result of my sketches and stuff, which kind of pushes me towards like I want to finish this up quicker, or I want to, be done with it and I don't have to see it ever again. Okay, let's talk about process really quick before I get into the rest of my feelings and thoughts about this current sketchbook. So as usual, I did a rough sketch with the palette Color ENO, which is kind of like the red that you can barely see on the page, and then the lines that you can see are done with a normal mechanical pencil, just HB 0.5 lead, and then I do quick washes with watercolor on top just because it allows the gouache to kind of like have something to adhere to, but also it helps me eliminate any white areas and to establish color more easily because I am more familiar with mixing like watercolor paints than I am with gouache, just because I paint with watercolor a lot more. But yeah, but now we're on the gouache stage, and I did do the goodbye with the Sharpie pen because I don't like my handwriting or like my writing in general, but I think my writing with a brush is a lot worse, so I decided that I'll just make it look a little bit more neat and tidy by writing with the Sharpie pen. So yeah, I think that's it for process. The majority of the rest of this video is basically just me painting with gouache, and I did struggle with this and I think it's because I haven't painted with gouache in a while, and I didn't clean my palette, which kind of made Masaki's whole palette, like color palette, a little bit on the darker side. So I think hair, I had not really much of an issue. I didn't clean my brush very well, so I had to paint the skin tone for Masaki several times, and he's kind of like a weird skin tone at the moment because I think it doesn't really show up on camera, but in my sketchbook he was a little bit too like pink, and then he was too purpley, or no, he was too purpley and then he was too pink. So I kept trying to knock him back so that he has a little bit more yellow into his skin tone, because I usually like putting a little bit more of a yellowy base in all of my skin tones, because I like to add more warmth and kind of like add more red or orange into the skin tone as I work, because I like giving the face more warmth, like near the cheeks, near the hairline, like around the nose and the mouth as well. Unless like the skin tone's like blue or something, I won't really add that much like yellow, obviously. But yeah, I usually start with a little bit more of a yellowy base if the character allows me to do so. Like if the character already has more of a rosier base, then I will try to make it a little bit more rosier. But for Masaki, I do usually have a kind of like a peachy, but it's like leaning a little bit more yellowy than pink. So yeah, he currently looks a little bit more almost neutral, so the pink looks a little weird on his skin too. But like I said, I kind of just sped through the painting process because I didn't really like how I drew Masaki all that much. I think my initial sketch looked a lot cuter, but once again, I think I rushed the second sketch of it and ended up not liking it as much, and I keep thinking to myself that I'm gonna fix it with the paint, but I think because I didn't really like it, I didn't spend that much time, so it's kind of like a dumb cycle that I am aware of but I'm not fixing. Yeah, so let's talk about the sketchbook again and kind of like its contents. So I feel like the last few pages that I did were done for the sake of finishing the sketchbook and not just because I wanted to draw or doodle that day. And I think moving forward into the next sketchbook, regardless if I pick, I think in the sketchbook tour video I'll decide which sketchbook I will be using. If not, I'll have it decided by the time I start recording again for the next sketchbook doodles video in the new sketchbook, and we can get into probably drawing the front cover of it. I'm not too sure if I'm going to be drawing Masaki, or I'll draw 17, or I'll draw maybe Sato, or I don't know, Genshin character or something on the front. I want to kind of vary it up a little bit, and I think I drew Masaki last time. Oh no, I drew Wanu last time, so maybe we'll flip-flop between, maybe, we'll see. I have an idea kind of for what I want if I draw Sato, but I also have an idea if I want to draw Wanu. So yeah, but like I said, I wanted to kind of like change my mindset for when I'm using the sketchbook, and I think I had a good mindset in the very beginning. Like I said, I was taking my time working with the mediums I wanted to on the paper. This paper is like a lot thinner, so I did do a lot less painting in the sketchbook, which I kind of regret, and partially it's because I want to paint more in my sketchbook, and I like using watercolor a lot, and I think the gouache still works nicely on the paper if I take my time, and I do not mind like the wrinkling and stuff. So yeah, I think I will continue to try to push myself to paint more in my sketchbook. It's a great way to add color and add kind of like different finishes to your sketchbook anyways, so I think it's nice to look at afterwards. Let's see. Yeah, I keep saying I think. It's more like I know, but I keep phrasing it that way. I want to basically treat my sketchbook back to the idea where it's kind of like my comfort zone, but like still an area where I can sketch freely enough that I am not afraid to do more practice stuff. I think this particular sketchbook I did do a lot more like full bodies, and I did a little bit more action poses and stuff for Genshin characters, which was really nice, and it was easier for me to do that in graphite because it was such a comfortable medium for me. But I do want to do kind of more studies of like flowers and things like that for my OCs and just for general knowledge. And I definitely want to do that in my sketchbook. And I don't know if I'm going to like take notes and stuff. We'll see how I treat it, but I would like to introduce that. I kind of like, I think the page before this one, I actually did a little bit of like flower sketching and just like playing around with colors and like lines and stuff, and it was quite fun. So I kind of want to bring that energy back and bring it to my next sketchbook, because like I said, I don't know if it's because I was doing like the marker stuff that I started to go super fast. I used to take my time doing them, and I think that's when I enjoyed them the most. But I think I realized that if I want to go fast, markers is also the way to go, which isn't great. Also, like, apologies if the stuff I'm saying is not making sense. I'm running on very little sleep, and it's like 3:30 in the morning. And so today, no, you guys will be seeing this on Monday. I recorded the audio and I did the painting on Sunday, and it kind of pushed into obviously the wee hours of the night. And the night before, which was Saturday, was the Carrotland fan meeting thing going on, event, and it lasted for like 4.5 hours. And for me, it started at 2 a.m. and I didn't sleep until 6 a.m. Luckily, I was able to sleep in a little bit, but I feel like I definitely feel the consequences this time of not being able to get proper sleep. Yeah, I was not sane the entire day, but that's okay. If you're seeing this video, and I don't know, if you like to see me live stream, definitely hop over onto Twitch in a few hours from when this is uploaded. Hopefully I'll be streaming. Hopefully, yeah, I'm gonna try my best to stream, but I think it's not gonna be a drawing stream because this took me longer than I had initially planned, because I actually had planned to film this on Saturday because I thought I had time, but I forgot there was the Carrotland fan meeting. But I wanted to take Monday to actually finish up needle felting Ayato because he currently has no limbs. He has he has a good portion of his coat done. I need to do like the back side of his coat. He needs also arms and sleeves and stuff, and legs and shoes, and just like little detailings off of his whole attire. But he has like kind of like a collar and like the shirt stuff kind of already established, and I think it would be kind of fun to do that for a stream just a little bit, so we can like chill and I can kind of like knock out a few things, because if I just draw, it's just kind of like drawing for myself doesn't really benefit too much, besides that I'm drawing for you guys. But yeah, I feel like I'm gonna needle felt today. It's today for you guys, so if you do happen to see the stream, come say hi. It should be in a few hours from whenever this video is uploaded, or you can check the community tab, because I should be streaming around 1 p.m. MST. So I like to stream usually on Monday and Thursday, but so far I've been streaming on Monday and Friday because Thursday has been a little bit inconvenient for the last few weeks, but hopefully I can get back on track. Yeah, I don't think I have very much else to say other than next Monday will be the sketchbook tour, so you can look forward to that. Like I said, I have mixed feelings about the sketchbook, so I'm kind of excited to show you guys, and I'm kind of not. I'm kind of like low-key dreading it, but I think it's gonna be good. I think it's okay. Yeah, I think that's probably about it. I think I already said this, but I will be deciding which sketchbook, or I guess in this case notebook, I might be picking to choose to work in, because I do have a sketchbook from Tricky Wagon, and I know I absolutely love the paper, and it can hold a lot of water, and the paint works nicely on it, and same with graphite and my pens. So I really do want to work in it, but I kind of want to save it as well. And I know I have obviously my kind of, not my prototypes, but I always save my own notebooks for myself, like one each, so that I can save the designs. So I always have those I could use. And my friend also gave me one of her notebook designs, so I could also use hers. And yeah, my brain is really just confuzzled right now. I don't know what I just talked about. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed today's little last page painting session. I know he looks a little derpy. The flower is really pale and kind of not as vibrant as the front page, as you'll see. Masaki is also very dull and a little bit darker than the Masaki that I painted on the front, where his coat's a lot brighter, a little bit cuter in my opinion, but I think this is an okay way to end the last page of the sketchbook. I'll talk to you guys next time, hopefully Wednesday, and if not, if you only watch the sketchbook doodles video, then I'll see you next Monday with the sketchbook tour. Bye!